Welcome back to Dan's Messy Garage. This is going to be part E of working on the 60 Falcon, dropping the Tri-Power 6 into it. This might be the final chapter on it. I only have a few things to do. Radiator hose finally came in. It's a funny looking thing. I need to trim that to fit. I need to run that choke wire. What's stopping me there is I want to find a 12 volt keyed source under the hood that isn't on the coil wire. Could just put a relay in it and that would solve the issues. Let's see, what else do I need to do? The radiator did not leak overnight, but when I drained it, it had a dark color to it. So there still might be some crud in the radiator. So I want to flush and fill it, flush, fill, do that a couple times to clear that system out, and then put some antifreeze in there. Got mufflers on the way. Two Glasspack mufflers. I'm just going to slide them on those pipes and put some kind of a muffler hanger on the back of the muffler to hold it up. They're supposed to arrive today. And I think that's going to be it. I mean, there's just not a lot for me to do here. But I got to get my little utility knife. I'm going to have to shorten each end of this hose to make it fit in there. I have the hose cut down. I'll stick it on the car now. And as I do this, I'm going to tell you a little something. I found out that the battery was just about dead today. And the problem is I got the regulator hooked up wrong. Those diagrams that I looked at that showed the A and S terminals hooked together are just wrong for this car. It's causing like a 5 amp drain on the battery. I had a trickle charge on it last night. Trickle charge is only about an amp, so it was a losing battle all night. So now I got a battery charger hooked up to it. About 6.6 amps going in, charging the battery. What I need to do is take apart my wiring that I spent all that time yesterday doing. And I have to separate the white and the yellows from these other thick wires. Before I do that though, I was saying that I didn't want to hook the electric choke wire to the ignition coil because the ignition coil has a resistor wire in it going from the key switch, ignition switch, and that electric choke thing needs 12 volts, and there's only like, let's just say 7 volts on the coil. I gotta start unwrapping and start cutting and undoing what I did. I'm happy to say I figured it out. Just had to redo my wiring here and add a wire for the stator. There wasn't enough in the harness to do what I needed, so I just ran one over to the stator. There's no more parasitic draw. It charges fine. The generator light lights up until you start it and it goes out, just like the oil light. So everything is working as it should. The last step is going to be to hook up that electric choke wire. What I decided to do is put a relay on the ignition wire and the relay will run the coil in the electric choke. The 5-pin relay, some of them are 4-pin. They just don't have that center one right there. So it's just a socket that you plug on, and relay has a hole for mounting it somewhere. And the way it works is it takes a low voltage, low current signal to connect the high amperage load. There's pins. Don't ask me why they're numbered this way, but all relays are. You got pin 30, 85, 86, 87, and 87A. Yeah, why? Okay. The diagram here kind of explains it. See, if you put low voltage, low current through 85 and 86, that's going to connect pin 30 to 87. And with no voltage applied here, 30 and 87A are hooked together. So what you can do, or I'm going to do, you ground one of these pins. I'm going to ground 85 or 86, it doesn't matter. And then when you turn the ignition switch on, it's going to energize the relay and connect 30 to 87. So pin 30 runs right over to 12 volts from the battery. And on 87, I'm going to put the coil and the electric choke. So you turn the key, there's going to be a low draw on the key circuit. The relay is going to send battery voltage straight to the coil and the choke. The distributor has a Pertronix ignition unit in it, and that requires a full 12-volt signal for longevity. Yeah, it'll run the way it is for, who knows how long. A month, a year, 5 years. But they recommend having 12 volts to their units inside the distributor there. And I'm going to mount the relay probably somewhere kind of easy to get to, maybe right there. Because I have the wires coming in that area. And electric choke wire I can run across. It has to go to the center carburetor. This is not tight on there yet. And battery wire I can run along the back side of the firewall. And then of course the coil just right down there. So I'll bring you back after I get things organized and when I figure out the mounting position and run some wires. I'll be back in a flash. I've been running wires. I got a thick 12 gauge wire going to the battery. That's going to be the high amperage load, let's say, on the relay. And I'm going to take some red heat shrink and put it on that wire where it gets connected up here. Maybe I'll put it in a couple spots. I didn't have a thick red wire, but I'm using black. And the black wire, you really can't see it running along these other wires. The red wire would stand out. I have the end of it where it's going to mount to the starter solenoid. Right there, I got a red heat shrink on it. The other wires are one coming from the electric choke, that's this green one. This red one here runs down to the coil. Now, all the wires in this harness were coming out of here were red. So I'm just keeping the color scheme the same. And then there's going to be a trigger wire from the ignition switch to the relay. I already got that connected. That's the blue wire on the relay. I got a few more wires to connect. This black one's going to be the ground. I'm just going to loop that right up to the mounting screw for the relay. And the relay's mounting right back here on the firewall. Just like that. So I got a few wires to connect. This center red wire going to pin 87A is not going to be hooked up to anything. I'll just tape the end of it off. And I'll bring you back in a flash once I get everything finalized. The wiring is done. Turn the light on here. I have it taped together. The bundle zip tied back there. And I'm going to do a electric choke test. I've got a meter there. See if I can move the meter closer to where the choke is so you can watch both. I'm going to see if that electric choke opens up. I'm going to turn the key on. I'll probably have to time lapse the choke opening because it might take a minute or two. I'm going to click the key on. The voltmeter should read battery voltage. Looks like it is. And then you just watch that and it should slowly open. In fact, I'm going to time lapse you. Okay, it's working. It's opening up. I'll turn the key off. Voltage should drop down, which it is. And let's see, what else can I do? Put the mufflers on. I got the regulator mounted in here. I think I'm done under the hood. Yep. Well, almost done. I gotta put the air cleaner on. And then I can crawl under the car, install the mufflers. I'm gonna do a quick rundown because somebody was asking me the other day how much parts have been. All right. Pilot bushing, 639, oil filter, and gas lines, 1336. You can probably read all that. Radiator cap, relay, fan belt, gear oil, VR1 oil, radiator hose, mufflers, JB weld, regulator wiring. It all comes to $206.52. So it didn't take a heck of a lot of money to get all the items needed. And now I get to crawl under the car and play with the mufflers. I'm not sure what all you're going to be able to see under there. It's kind of dark. But I'm going to get some wire cutters and cut off the baling wire that I used to hold the old system in place. Just like that. Now the Glasspack should slide on these pipes They're supposed to be 2-inch. The pipes are 2-inch. I think it'll go with a little persuasion. How about this one? Yeah. I gotta get better situated here. And I also want to see if I can loosen up these down pipes and raise them higher, closer to the floor. Well, I can't get much more though, 1-inch, because I need to support the back of the muffler off the floor pan. I have the mufflers hanging under there kind of temporarily. I have the microphone off of my phone, so you should be able to hear this a little better. I'm going to start the car up. I think I'm going to move you guys back further though. I think that sounds good. I had to go up to O'Reilly and get some heavy duty swivel muffler hangers. They're like this. This will swivel here plus those 2 spots, and I should be able to use that to hold it up to the floor pan. So I had to update the cost sheet. The muffler clamps or hangers came to $11.13. So the total parts so far $217.65. Not bad. Next thing I need to do is take off the old exhaust system. There's a tailpipe, a muffler, and a long pipe going toward the front of the car. Looks like I can just buzz off the nuts on that muffler clamp, and it should drop down. Let's find out. Yep. Now, see if I can twist the light and get this out of here without cutting it. I think I can. I think I will be able to if I open up the garage door. Let's see what. Hey, that whole long unit came out of there. That was a biggie. I got it out. The only thing that's left for me to do is put those muffler hangers on there, and that shouldn't be hard at all. Oh, just like that. This is going to be the end of this project, putting a Tri-Power 6-cylinder engine into a 1960 Falcon. I hope you enjoyed this series of videos. Please come back to my channel, Dan's Messy Garage, for more videos and future projects. Bye.